Lightroom presets are such a great tool for photography, and I've been using them ever since I started editing my photos in Lightroom almost 15 years ago. Whether it's a preset just to apply some lens corrections, all the way up to adjusting every single color tone and value to create something really unique and special. I think no matter what kind of photographer you are, whatever level, you can get some value out of presets. But since I've created thousands of presets and preset variations over the years, I really wanted to do a video doing a deep dive into the best practices for creating Lightroom presets, starting with the biggest mistake, which is including white balance and exposure adjustments in your preset. Right out of the camera, some images are way too warm. Sometimes you have some strange tint issues going on. Maybe you're shooting in front of some tinted glass, so everything looks slightly green. And oftentimes as photographers, we're not perfect. We mess up our exposure. We accidentally make the photo way too bright or way too dark. And therefore, I think it's really important that we adjust white balance and exposure for each individual image based on what we actually did, our decisions in the camera in the first place, and then also where we want that image to end up as a final result. So for that reason, including a specific white balance adjustment or a tint adjustment or an exposure adjustment within your preset doesn't really work that well. I have purchased some presets in the past, and sadly, some of them are using white balance to determine the style of the photo, to make the photo really cool or really warm. And while that seems like a good idea on the surface, when you're trying to apply a preset to multiple different images, you'll find that based on the original colors of the image, you can end up in a completely different place than what the preset intended. So that is why if I really do want to give an image an overall cool feeling, an overall warmth feeling, I will do that in either the color grading section of the Lightroom panel or in the RGB curves. And then I will simply adjust the white balance and the exposure based on the photo itself and just leave them out of the preset completely just by unticking those boxes when I go to create a new preset. And this is just a really simple, easy way of creating presets that work on as many images as possible. So before we continue with the tips, I do want to give a brief mention to the sponsor of this video, which is Skillshare. If you don't already know, Skillshare is an online learning community with tons of classes by world-class creatives, from professional photographers to renowned graphic designers and successful entrepreneurs. And they cater to many different skill levels, from beginner to intermediate and advanced classes. I've used Skillshare in the past to learn new mediums and explore my curiosities outside of photography as well. Recently, I added a brand new piece of kit to my bag, this light meter here. And to properly learn how to use it and meter for my film photography, I actually took a class on Skillshare by Satya Peacock. Now, this class goes through the ins and outs of film photography in its entirety, but what I really loved and got a lot of value out of was the section on metering. And now I'm way more confident using this brand new piece of gear. So if you want to learn a new skill, just like I have, now is the perfect time. First 500 people to use the link down in the description below or scan the QR code that's on the screen right now will get a free 1-month trial of Skillshare. So get started today. A big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. And now back to the tips. So the next thing that I learned is that having a dedicated catalog that you use to create presets or test presets is really, really important. Now I'm always adding to this catalog. I'm always putting new photos from recent shoots in there. They can be photos from challenging lighting situations or simply just some of my favorite photos that I've shot over the years. And whenever I come up with a certain look that I want to test to make sure that it's applicable over multiple different situations, I'll simply open this catalog and then just go through the photos one by one, and I will test the preset or presets on these photos. And I found that over the years, this has really helped me to create presets that just work on every single image that I have tried, because what will happen is I'll, try it on a bunch of different images and I'll find some opportunities where I could change a few settings, maybe dial down saturation in certain areas, sort of come to a middle ground where the preset doesn't lose its soul, it doesn't lose its look, but it also opens it up to being able to be used on multiple different images. I personally think that a great preset is a preset that you can use on all of your photos. Photos from completely different lighting situations that have different colors in them, different genres of photography, from, portraits to landscapes, everyday life photography. And that's why creating a catalog with all these different styles is just a really great way to test your presets. Now, this is something that I actually did mess up in the past. What I would do is I would assign a specific lens, whether it was, let's say, the Canon 35mm 1.8. And I would save those corrections to the preset and then be applying it to like a Sony photo or a photo shot on a 16mm lens. And where I went wrong was when I created the preset, I had the custom ticked in the lens corrections and not auto. So you need to make sure that you have auto ticked, because Lightroom is just going to use the EXIF data to identify the lens and then apply the appropriate corrections. And so this will mean that for every single preset you have, it doesn't matter what camera or what lens you use, it's just going to apply those corrections by default. And this is a really good idea as well. If you ever decide to sell or share your presets with your friends, other people will be able to use your presets and not be locked into the specific lens that you are using when you're creating the preset. Don't be afraid to overwrite your preset settings and try to keep it really simple. One mistake that I made in the past was that I had like 30 different variations of the same preset, and I almost got lost in which variation was which and which one that I was actually working on at the current time. So I actually found out that you can make some adjustments on the current photo that you're editing, right click on the preset in the left hand panel, and then just click the button that says update with the current settings. And I try to do this as much as possible so that I don't have so many variations floating around. Obviously it is nice to go back to a preset variation that you tried in the past, but try not to let it get out of control. So the next tip is to use a reference grid. Now, a lot of us, we don't just come up with these looks on our own. Oftentimes we're inspired by other photographers. Now in the past, I have been heavily inspired by film photographers. And so I used to make these little collages of all these images shot on film that I really, really love. And I would drag this collage into my Lightroom catalog. And then I would use the comparison tool, which is in the bottom left-hand corner, drag that photo up, and then I would just have that sitting there while I'm editing my photos or creating presets to try to approximate the look of the photos. Every single photo is different, whether it's a photo that's shot completely in direct sunlight, one that's shot in the shade, an image with a lot of skin tones can be completely different from a landscape image. So I just try to include as many different types of images in that collage, or ones that are within my style anyway, that I'm trying to sort of emulate the look of. The last tip, and this is one that I don't think a lot of people know about, but it is to use the Adobe color profile as your starting base in Lightroom. Now I did a whole video on color profiles. If you do want to check that out, I'll leave it linked, in the top corner in a card. I go way more into depth about color profiles there, but essentially all you need to know is that Adobe color profiles are made to match cameras. So if you have a photo shot on Canon, Sony, Nikon, Lumix, whatever it is, the Adobe color profile is intended to be a good starting base where it just matches and neutralizes the difference between the colors and tones of each individual camera. And this is a great way just to ensure that your presets work across multiple brands. So whether it is, like I mentioned before, you're going to be sharing your presets with others, or maybe in the future you decide to change camera systems, or even possibly right now you have multiple camera systems that you want your presets to work across, it's very important that you use the Adobe profiles as a base. You can use the camera matching profiles, so for example, I have a Fuji camera. Sometimes I start with the Astia or the Provia camera profile as a base because I really like the way it looks. I just have to keep in mind that if I ever wanted to use that preset on a different camera, it's not going to work because Lightroom doesn't let you use the standard camera profiles from one brand across to another. I'm not sure if it's whether they don't let you use it or it just doesn't apply because of some kind of technical limitation. I'm not too deep into the knowledge there, but yeah, they're not cross-compatible. So that's something that I can highly recommend. I use Adobe Color. That is the base for all of my presets. And as you guys might already know, I have so many different cameras from different brands. And whenever I apply my presets to those different cameras, it seems to work really great. Apart from, just little minor things like difference in white balance, different lenses will have different color casts to them. Sometimes I'm using a filter, which can slightly, change the color balance as well. But once you've made those little tweaks to your white balance and such, they pretty much all look exactly the same. So that is it for the video. Pretty much everything I've learned about creating Lightroom presets over the past decade or so of editing. If you did like the video and you got something out of it, please click the like button down below. It helps me out a lot. And I appreciate you guys for sticking around until the end, and I'll see you all in the next video.